everyone and welcome to another episode on the Ordinary Boy Boxing channel. Now in today's video it's my quick pick for the upcoming fight between Tommy Fury and KSI, or KSI and Tommy Fury, whichever way round they're doing it. The fight goes down this Saturday in Manchester on the Prime card, I think it's called. Going into the fight you have KSI. Now I'm going to have to look at on my phone here because I'm not the biggest KSI fan. So I'm going to have to kind of look at my phone to see his kind of history to remind myself. Before we get into this, as I said in my previous video, which is up on the channel for Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis, not my kind of thing, this YouTube boxing stuff. I prefer mainstream boxing. I find it a bit cringy at times. I've put videos on the channel saying this. However, I'm not stupid. I know it does views. I know there's people on YouTube that are interested to watch this. Maybe they're not even boxing fans, but are interested to see what an actual boxing fan's point of view on these fights is going to be. So that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, KSI, he fought Joe Weller. That's how all this started, who he beat by TKO. He had a draw with Logan Paul, who he then rematched, who he beat by decision. He then fought Brandon Scott, who he knocked out. Pineda, who he knocked out. Thomas Oliveira, who he knocked out. And Joe Fournier, who he knocked out with an elbow, so it was a no contest. He's taking on the great Tommy Fury, and again, although Tommy Fury is a bit more of a natural boxer, he's fought quite a few no-name people, so again I'm going to have to remind myself. His record is 9-0 with 4 KOs. He's cruiserweight naturally. He beat, these are going to be hard to say, he beat Andrzejew's points, Calamoid KO, Binyenda TKO, Grajaski TKO, Scott Williams KO, Jordan Grant points, Anthony Taylor unanimous decision, Daniel Bokanatski on points, and then most recently of course he beat Jake Paul by split decision. So we have this fight. The big story I suppose going into this fight is the point that Tommy Fury beat Jake Paul. As soon as Jake Paul, one of these YouTuber influencers, actually went up against a boxer, he lost. So KSI is trying to prove a point by beating a boxer. I'm doing that because I don't know why suddenly Tommy Fury is labelled as the epitome of a professional boxer, because look at his record. But yeah, that's kind of the storyline going into it. It's easy money from Tommy Fury's point of view. Tommy Fury, well, I predicted Tommy Fury to beat Jake Paul on points, and he did, but he struggled more than he should have really. But then the question becomes, I suppose, how good is KSI? Is he better than Jake Paul? Obviously they want to try and set up that YouTuber KSI and Jake Paul fight. So going into this fight, that's the big question. Can KSI do what Jake Paul couldn't? My first thought when this fight was announced is Tommy Fury actually bothering to train? He will look at KSI, and I think rightly so, and say he's worse than Jake Paul. If I beat Jake Paul, I haven't got to worry about KSI. But from what I'm seeing, he has actually been training. I've taken him for his word that he could be lying, I suppose, but I think he probably is training. I think he wants a knockout in this fight. As far as KSI goes, I've never really been impressed with what he does in the ring. It's very amateur, it's very sloppy. At least with Jake Paul, you can see slight improvements. With KSI, it's winging punches, it's poor footwork. Yeah. So we have this fight. What is my prediction? My prediction for this fight between KSI and Tommy Fury is KSI to get knocked out. I was torn between that and Tommy Fury winning on points again. However, I think Tommy Fury is coming in this to try and make a point and to try and knock him out. And I think KSI is a lot sloppier defensively than Jake Paul ever was. and I think that'll catch up with him. Also, the size difference. KSI is a lot smaller than Jake Paul, a hell of a lot smaller than Tommy Fury, and I think that will have an effect in this fight. Round wise, I think this ends in round 4 or 5. I think it's a 6-rounder, so I'm going to go for round 4 for Tommy Fury to knock out KSI. If Tommy Fury loses this fight, I will say the same as I said about the Jake Paul thing. That's it for him, in my opinion. It won't be, because he'll just carry on in this influencer world. But you can no longer say you're a professional fighter and you have these aspirations for world championships if you're getting beaten by KSI. Let's be honest. Where they go from here, KSI will always have that Jake Paul fight. I'm sure that'll happen either way. They'll both would have lost to Jake Paul, I suppose. Tommy Fury, I'm not sure what he does. The big money is in this influencer celebrity boxing. Although he says he's going to go back and try and fight for world titles, the pay difference between fighting these guys and fighting for yourself up in the rankings is vastly different. So I'll be very, very interested to see what he does next. I think he'll probably cash out on more of these fights. And in his defence, I don't think he's ever going to be a world champion, so who can blame him? If you were interested in this fight, please let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. If you have no interest at all in this fight, then like I said at the beginning, please don't blame me. It's just, I know what's going to get views, and this is one of them. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.